Yeah, so I never normally do any videos or anything like this. Um, I don't class myself as a content creator or anything as such. Um, just say what, just trade, right? And then live life. Really, that's the main thing for me anyway. But I thought maybe it's time to do a video just to discuss some things, talk about real life matters. Thought, why not? Why not? Maybe this is something I should do, because I do get a lot of people asking me, oh, why don't you do some vlog style stuff, or just in general, why don't you just do any kind of content? So I thought if I do anything, maybe you should do something that's, relating to real life rather than the normal bullshit that we see on social media, which I'm not really fond of, if I'm honest. But yeah, where do we start with these kind of things? Talk about life, talk about trading, what it takes to be a trader, maybe. I don't know. But I like to talk about life first and foremost, before anything. And if we relate it to this industry, I think life can be one of the most testing, let's say, journeys known to mankind, especially if you're trading for quite some time, even in the beginning, but more so, over the years. I think for me it's about nearly 5 years since I entered the space, first, stepped into the space, let's just say. But yeah, it's just, I like to freestyle things. I don't really plan stuff. I literally just went for a walk near my place and was thinking about some stuff, and I thought maybe I should just talk some shit, maybe I should just vent a little. I think when you hold things for too long inside your body, it's not healthy, it's not good, and this is something that we should all really acknowledge about ourselves, because I'm sure there's many of you that hold things inside and think that this makes you very strong, but the truth is eventually it'll come back to haunt you in some way. It'll affect you in some way, even if at the time you feel like you're doing the right thing, you're being strong, you're trying to be there for people. For example, you're trying to take other people's problems as your problems rather than dealing with your own. And I think this is probably the number one thing that actually deters us from even being a good trader to start with, because you're already not dealing with your own personal issues, your own inner development, let's say, but you're trying to deal with other people's stuff, or I don't know, you get sucked into what you see on social media. We have so many toxic platforms nowadays as well, especially for the trading industry, I think people just get quite lost in the source, and they forget the true meaning of life. They forget what it actually takes to be a trader, rather than just looking at what people do, people posting profits, people posting this, posting that, posting motivational shit. It's like, it's not really going to help you if we be honest about it. And that's why I've never really followed anyone's I don't want to say advice, because there is some nice advice out there with the right people, but most of the stuff you see, it's just all fugazi, it's all washed up material that's been around for a very long time, and then people come up with new innovative ways to basically shell the same shit, and that's not me shitting on people. It's just the reality of what this industry is actually about. And I think I've been in it long enough to really see what everything is about. And I know this is a long time ago, but more so even now, especially this year, space has just become way too toxic. These aren't really traders. I'd say it's just people that come into the space and saw what the prop space is like, which has actually ruined the trading industry, in my opinion, based on previous, companies, and then sort of giving this privilege to quote unquote traders slash gamblers, and then selling them a dream. and there's no longevity in that. There's no end goal with that, and I think people need to really understand what they're getting themselves into, especially when it comes to this space. So life is always going to test you in different ways. Some ways where you may not even feel like you're being tested, but you are being tested, because it will come back to haunt you at some point. Same way, you may be dealing with a lot of problems personally, even just with your trading, but the thing is, the problems you have personally have a direct impact on your trading anyway. So you need to deal with those things before you actually try and take your trading seriously. If you start thinking like, oh, what's wrong? Why am I not able to perform? All of these things, there's inner workings that you need to deal with. You need to really go deep into your inner self and understand, what's actually going on in your life. Are you dealing with traumas? Are you dealing with, issues that you've never addressed? There's a lot of different factors you need to consider. And I think not many people do this. And I think many people don't talk about this. They just say, oh, yeah, trading is all mental, which I agree, most of it is mental. Of course, you need to know how to do technicals and whatnot, and how to actually read markets in different ways, of course. But if your mind's not right, then you're already setting yourself up for a disaster, to be honest. But I think more so, before the whole, your psychology needs to be on point, you need to be on point as a person. You need to be okay. If you're not okay, then you're already going into this industry or going into the markets blind. You're not helping yourself in any way at all. So I think there needs to be more talk around this, in terms of people really dealing with their own selves before diving deep into this industry, which isn't always a bad thing, to dive head first into an industry. I know a lot of people that have done that and they're quite successful, but they also may have not been really having many problems in life. Do you know what I mean? So it really depends on the individual at hand, and everyone's situation will always be different. For me, I'm just more of a person where I don't want to say I like to be relatable, because I don't really think I relate to many people, but I feel like whatever I do say, it somewhat makes sense to people, at least. So rather than just being relatable, if it makes sense, people might take something from it. People might understand that, okay, you know what, there's way more to life than just trading, than just making money. But yes, we need to make money. Yes, we need money to survive, to do things, to enjoy and whatnot. But if you're not okay, all of that doesn't matter, because firstly, you won't be able to enjoy anything even if you do make money. Secondly, you might cause yourself more harm than good, especially by coming into this space. I wouldn't really recommend anyone to get into this industry, if I'm honest with you, especially after everything I've seen over the last 5 years. It's just crazy. But yes, of course, you can make a lot of money. Yes, you can. And there's different ways to do that. Some people will make money actually trading, which is very, very small percentage of individuals that even I personally know. And then majority of people make their money from selling courses that actually don't even provide any value. There's obviously a few that do. And then people selling services that don't even help other people. Instead, people are just giving money, and then these people are obviously making a lot of money at the expense of others that still don't really gain much from it. Now, I'm not saying that's every single person that's selling a service, no, or a product or whatever it may be, but the majority. So you need to be very careful who you invest in, who you take a subscription from, whatever the case may be. Be very vigilant, because there's a lot of snakes. There's a lot of fakeness in this industry. And don't get me wrong, sometimes there may be a case where a person genuinely has good intentions and doesn't actually mean any malice or harm to other people, and they may have just been in a situation that's out of their control. Obviously, these things happen too. Now, I'm just touching the surface, really, whatever's just come into my head at the moment. But yeah, I might start making some more real videos where I just discuss everything and anything that comes to my mind related to life, to the industry and everything else. And obviously, if anyone else has any recommendations on the stuff they'd like me to touch on, then I can think a bit more and go a bit deeper into things. But I just wanted to keep this a bit more just as a generic freestyle, you know, nothing too deep, more just kind of covering just random things, but things that make sense as well. I'd like to believe. But yeah, this ain't something I really do, like I said. But I just thought maybe I'll give it a go, see what it's like, and yeah, I don't know, see what people think, if they want me to actually do these kind of things and whatnot. But yeah, let's see.